Nate, you were able to play the Islanders in preseason twice. I know that's preseason, but that second game was really most of their squad. What did you see out of them in that game?
They've done a really good job over not just the last little bit, but for years now they've always played with the same identity, and their core hasn't really changed. So going in, it's one of those teams you do know what to expect. Obviously, very well structured team. They're an older team, and they'll play hard, and they're the kind of team that they're going to want it to be a low-scoring game, and they're going to want to wait around all game, and then when they get their opportunity, they want to capitalize on it. So we do know what to expect.
And I was looking at some of their stats. They are one of those teams that throws a lot of hits. What do you all need to do to match some of the physicality that they may bring to still be able to produce offense and create some opportunities?
For me personally, I like playing teams like this. A little bit bigger and heavier kind of suits my style. Honestly, any game you go into this league, well, it's the Islanders or Arizona or Florida, whoever it is, you just have to be ready to compete and get over pucks. So it'll be no different for us.
And just looking at this team, I know a lot of people have talked about the 1-1-1 through 3 games, but with the team off the ice, how have you guys really been trying to bond as a group and come together as a group at the start of this season when it's maybe not all perfect with a lot of wins?
Yeah, I mean, the group is so close, and a lot of us have been together for a little bit now. So I think people are panicking a little more than we are. I think we're in a good spot. I think the league doesn't get easier year to year; it gets harder, and there's been a ton of positives. There's been guys who have been playing well. There's been a lot of guys who we're going to get a lot more out of, and we're going to win more hockey games.
Last 2 practices, we've seen Tierney playing with you on a line. What does he bring to this group?
He's a veteran guy, obviously. I think he's played a lot more in the NHL than most people even know. He's an awesome guy around the room, and he's on the team for a reason. So I'm looking forward to having him.
And it is the first road game. I know it's only going to Long Island. You're taking a bus. But What's it like having this first road game? Kind of what's different in that first game?
Obviously, playing on the road is a little bit of a different challenge, and everything else that comes with it. It'll be good for us to get away as a group and stay over tonight and go for a nice dinner. So we're excited.
Last 2 practices, we saw you taking some line rushes. If you are able to play tomorrow, what do you really want to bring to this lineup?
Just try to bring some energy. Whenever you get in the lineup, and obviously if you're in the bottom 6, I think you want to go out and create energy for the team. So just moving my feet, getting on pucks quick, trying to win puck battles, and just helping out wherever I can.
The Islanders are a team that are consistently very tough to play against. They're very physical. They throw a lot of hits. What can the fourth line potentially bring to counteract that?
Yeah, I think we got to do the same. I think we got to get on their D and get physical and get pucks back. If we can get the puck behind them, make them turn, wear them down a little bit, maybe soften up some minutes for the top guys. So I think that's kind of the role, is to try to get some momentum, and the more we can kind of play down there and have the puck and cycle, the more momentum we're going to create for our team.
It is the first road game, and I know it's not the same as getting on a plane and all of that, but what does the first road game bring to a team?
Yeah, I think it's a good start to kind of bond. Guys get together for dinner. Guys, are at the hotel together. You're on the bus going over there. Time to kind of gel. So, I think it's exciting. The first road game is you can kind of go out and, you're all together, and it's just you versus them and their crowd. So it's a good way for guys to come together.
And we know it's a new team for you, but this team tends to be very close. What have you seen about joining this organization and being a part of this group?
Yeah, it's a tight-knit group. There's a lot of guys that are good buddies, and everybody made me feel welcome from the moment I got here. So it's a fun group to be a part of. Guys work really hard here, so it's a lot of fun to show up and work and get better every day with these guys.
It's been a little over a month since training camp. How comfortable do you feel in the Devil system? Have you played any zone-type systems before that are maybe similar that you can pull from?
Yeah, it's a little different the way they play here, but we've had enough practices now that I've got adjusted to the system. Even watching some of the games there and seeing how it's done helps. So I'm ready to go. I'm adjusted, so shouldn't be any problem.
Updates just weren't available to practice today.
And then we saw Miller also took a fall at the end of practice. Is there anything to say about him yet?
No news on him yet, so just waiting to hear.
What challenges or benefits can the first road game bring for a group at this early in the season?
Well, I think a lot of times you can determine your team by, how well you can go out and play on the road. And I think last year, for a good period of time, our road game was real good. I think some of the details have been missing in our home game, and we spent a lot of time talking about that today.
If Chris Tierney does play in tomorrow's game, we saw him taking some line rushes the last two practices. What could he bring to a line with Lazar and Bastian?
Well, again, he's a veteran forward, lots of experience. Knows how to play the game and plays the game the right way.
Lindy, it's Nosek and Hala. Is that a game time decision for tomorrow?
Not with Nosek or Hala. I don't think so. I'm just where they're at. I don't think they're game time.
Would they make the trip to Long Island?
I don't believe so. They could, though.
What problems does a team like the Islanders present to you, and what do you need to be prepared for tomorrow night?
Well, I think they play. They play a strong game away from the puck. Don't give you a lot of opportunities. I think their defensive game is really strong. So I think the opportunity for us to take advantage of chances we get is going to be real important.
What are you expecting how the team will react to where they are? I mean, it's early. I understand all that. But you went through a very hard practice on Tuesday to get a message across. There was a long practice today. There was a lot of instruction. What's the sense you get from your club?
No, I think we're in the early stages with our club, really. There's been a lot of changes. I think, it's just being diligent on what we do in all three zones. I think that part has been missing, that whether it's one guy that out of the system has messed it up, some of it is just outright compete. You've got to compete harder. I thought at times they won more battles than we did. So we got to impose more will in our 50-50 battles.
Lindy, obviously, only played one game, but have you seen sort of that same confidence from Schmidt from last season? Is it carried over at all?
I thought, if you look at training camp, which you judge, and then you go through his one game, he's been solid. Played a really strong game on the island the last time we were in there. So you get a small sample size in training camp. And then you get the one regular season game, and he looks and I think has responded well to the number of reps he's getting in practice and the opportunities that he's faced inside games.
We talk a lot about defensemen playing the offside. What about a forward? What some benefits or maybe some challenges for a forward playing the offside, the off point?
You can make plays sometimes better into the middle of the ice. You can gain the middle of the ice better. If you can get to the middle of the ice, a lot of times you can open things up. Sometimes I think the challenge is wall play, which guys might not be comfortable with. So, but our guys have, for the most part, have all played, along the way, have played the center or wing position, the guys that we've moved around.